Hey everyone, welcome back. You ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to go deep.
All right, well today we're going to be taking a close look at a piece called In the Heart of the Night. Thank you.
Sounds intriguing.
It really is. It's this really evocative piece of writing, originally in French. It feels very personal, almost like you stumbled across someone's private journal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's full of all these really powerful images about the things we carry with us, the emotional baggage.
I can definitely relate to
I
that.
think we all can. And it's also got all this talk about longing for freedom and finding yourself, real self-discovery stuff.
I love it already. So what are some of the specifics that jumped out at you?
Well, right off the bat, there's this really interesting contrast in the language. The author uses all these heavy, almost suffocating words like dirty, sinister, sad, lugubrious, creaking.
Wow, those are some heavy hitters for sure.
Right. But then, almost in the same breath, they bring up this idea of the grease of our hearts.
Huh, the grease of our hearts. What do you make of that?
It really got me thinking, what is the grease of our hearts?
Yeah, that's a really unique metaphor. It's not one you hear every day.
It's not. So I was thinking, maybe it's about all the stuff we have to force ourselves to do.
Like what kinds of things?
Well, like when you have to deal with a really difficult situation at work, or if you're going through a loss and you have to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. That feeling of pushing yourself forward, even when it's tough, maybe that's the grease.
I see what you're saying. It's that emotional labor, those sacrifices we make, the sheer effort of just keeping going. And it does feel kind of greasy, like it's this gritty, messy process.
Exactly. And then there's this creaking door that keeps popping up. I think that represents all the obstacles we face in life, the things that get in our way.
It makes me think of those times when you feel stuck, like you're pushing and pushing, but the door just won't budge.
Yes. And then the author adds this line, almost like an aside, in parentheses, yet it remains stuck. Perhaps our hearts were also rusted.
Ooh, now that's interesting. A little ominous, even.
Right. Like suddenly this wave of doubt crashes in. What if all that effort, all that grease isn't enough? And that idea of rusted hearts, what do you think that means?
It's pretty powerful imagery, right? I think about those times when I've been hurt or let down, you kind of start to close yourself off, try to protect yourself from getting hurt again.
It's like a defense mechanism.
Totally. But the problem is it can end up trapping you. You build up all this rust, this armor, and it becomes harder to really connect with people, to be vulnerable, and give of yourself fully.
Right. You kind of get stuck in that closed off state.
Exactly. But thankfully, the text doesn't just leave us there in that darkness. There's this amazing shift where the author starts talking about something that frees you without fear of showing yourself, of remaining small or large.
Yeah, there's a real feeling of liberation there.
It's like stepping out of that rusty cage and finally being able to breathe again.
And then it leads into this beautiful image of the path of song through the fields.
Oh, I love that. The path of song. It just sounds so free.
Right. And it makes me think, maybe self-discovery isn't always about actively searching or striving. Maybe sometimes it's about stumbling upon something like this path through the fields that just feels right.
It's like finding your own rhythm, your own way of moving through the world.
Exactly. And then the author says, by going for a walk there, we were saved. Finally. It's such a powerful statement.
It really is. And did you notice how the language shifts there? It goes from we are to we have always been.
You're right. I didn't even pick up on that.
It's subtle, but really important, I think. It's like the author is saying that true self, that authentic core of who you are, has always been there.
It's just been hidden under all that rust and baggage.
Exactly. So maybe self-discovery isn't about becoming someone new. It's more about uncovering who you've always been, shedding those layers that have been obscuring your true self.
It's like polishing off the rust and letting your true colors shine.
I love that. So what do you think? What would your path of song look like?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm not sure, actually.
It's something to think about, right? What are the creaking doors you need to push through? Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's self-doubt. Maybe it's all those expectations we put on ourselves.
Yeah, it's different for everyone.
Absolutely. But I think the key is to keep walking, keep exploring, and never stop searching for that path that leads you to your most authentic self.
That's a great takeaway. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We hope this exploration of In the Heart of the Night, thank you, inspires you to keep searching for your own path of song.
Happy trails!
Until next time.